there is another important concept of domestic territory in national income, which we must be clear about. In political science, we talk about country's frontiers, its borders, but in economics we talk about domestic territory. It is a broader concept than a concept of a political frontier. Political frontier is a part of domestic territory, but many more things are included in it for the purpose of calculating national income, and where the income is generated, because the generation of income is to be considered for the sake of country. So wherever it is generated and it belongs to us, all those things, all those areas we considered to be the part of our domestic territory. For example, there are ships or there are aeroplanes, they belong to our country, but they move in some different countries to other countries, but they belong to us. So whatever their earning is, it belongs to India. So they may not be working in India, but they belong to us, so they are considered to be the part of domestic territory of India. And similarly, there are natural gas, oil and natural gas rigs, and then floating platforms owned by some private individuals in international waters, where they have exclusive rights to work there. Now they also belong to though international waters doesn't come in the political frontier of a country, but they work there, so they are part of the domestic territory of India. So the concepts in different subjects are different. So in economics, the concept of domestic territory is a wider concept, so that we can know about where the income is being generated for our country by the people of our country. Now we discussed in previous video the concept of normal resident of a country. Now what is the implication of normal resident? So when we define national income, so national income is the sum total of the incomes earned by the normal residents of a country. So they have certain implications. That's why different concepts are coined by in different subjects. Similarly, domestic territory, where the production process is going on and income is generated for the country. Wherever it is generated and wherever the production process is taking place, that place may be a ship, maybe an aeroplane, maybe some platform in the international waters, they belong to India, and production process is carried out there, so they belong to India. So this is the concept of domestic territory of India. And this similarly, some embassies and consulates which belong to our country but are situated in other countries, they are also part of the domestic territory of the country, not to the country where they are situated, but they belong to the country to which they belong. If our embassy is in some foreign country, so the the geographical area in which it is situated, it belongs to the other country, but that embassy is considered to be part of India's domestic territory. And likewise, if some foreign country's embassy is situated in Delhi, that embassy is considered to be the part of the country to which it belongs. And this is, so there are two very important concepts. One is normal resident of a country and domestic territory of a country. What are its implications and what are their constituents? You please be clear about these. Thank you.